Want to guess what episode?
87. We don't care. It's fine. Whatever.
I'll go back and count at some point. I think it's 88.
All right.
Or 87.
Welcome to Lisa Beats Your Meat. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode.
Yep.
Tonight we're drinking. Hold on, let me take a sip.
Oh, it's really good.
So good. Tonight we're drinking Redbreast, single pot, still Irish whiskey, aged 21 years. It was really expensive, but we're drinking it because who cares? You know? Just go with it.
Yeah.
I had a good day. I want to have some nice whiskey.
I got it for
Push present.
I feel like
It has my name engraved on it.
it does. I feel like the last time we drank this, we were, I don't know. We didn't live here, right?
I don't know.
It was when we did the little taste testing.
Really? That was the last time?
I think so. So,
Wow.
but I feel like in the past year, we've come a long way in our
Lives.
understanding of whiskey and
Yeah.
our taste buds of whiskey. And this tastes great.
Whiskey is like money. What do you? I'm just gonna hold on to it. You know, my whole life. I'm just gonna be a drunk when I'm 80. You know, gotta drink a
Yeah,
little.
It gets better with age. Both of them.
No, apparently this one's not. Once you open it, this one's
No,
not.
they were just saying like, there's no point in sitting on something that's good just because it'll age better.
Yeah.
Like enjoy it.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
been 21 years. Like
Yeah.
the difference between a 21 and a 20. Actually, this is 23 years now.
you know, it's good, and I'm gonna drink it.
It's great,
fine.
actually.
You can
But yeah.
buy me another one in a couple.
So we're
years.
back. We're drinking some Redbreast whiskey
Mm-hmm.
from Ireland. And
And we're in the thick of it.
it's 2020. There's a pandemic going on.
There's a
We
pandemic.
have lots to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about, and we're going to stay on script, and we're going to be concise with our words, and we're
No,
going to
there's
be
no need for that.
somewhat,
Careful about what we say.
not careful, but we're going to follow some sort of script. I'm only saying that because we've done 2 podcasts that we had to scrap because I was too drunk.
Yeah, well, it's been a little bit, if you notice. So early on, we banged early on of the stay-at-home order, I guess,
Yeah.
in March into April. Yeah, we put a few out, and then we did a few more, but
I was too
it
drunk.
was early on. Yeah, things were just crazy. The second one was, we tried to, I thought about this today. We tried to redo the first one
Yeah.
because we were too
Drunk.
all over the place. But we decided to do it on your birthday after you had been drinking for like 12 straight
All
hours. All day
Yeah.
alone.
It didn't make any sense, and the podcast didn't make any sense. But we're gonna make sense now, and we're gonna do this. And I'm not gonna give any promises, but here we are talking
Yeah.
about something, and it's gonna be fun. I really hope. But I guess let's just catch you up. One, we're in the pandemic, and so many food things that I could go over with you that I'm so excited about. The most recent one is this vegan buffalo mozzarella that I made.
Buffalo.
Yeah, so buffalo's like the ones that's like in water, you know, like it's in like a brine.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like hot sauce.
Did I say sauce? Buffalo.
No, you said buffalo.
That's what it's called, buffalo mozzarella. Anyways, I don't know how I stumbled upon this, but I found it on YouTube, and I made 2 different versions of it because I was like researching it. One was with cashews and like a vegan yogurt, and then a stabilizer of that Kappa carnitine stuffy or whatever. And then the other was just with like a unsweetened almond milk or soy milk, and then the stabilizers. And like the cashew one was good, but it really didn't have the same like kind of flavor and texture as the one with just the regular almond milk or soy milk. It's so good. That cheese like rocked me out. I was like, really excited about it.
Yeah, you were.
Maybe we should put like the link into that in our podcast. Didn't you like it? Wasn't it
Yeah,
so
I loved
good?
it. It was great.
It's like literally.
I liked it. So I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I liked it for what it was. It didn't work great on like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Well, that was a different cheese.
Oh,
I
it was?
You're such an idiot. I just said that I made the ones with cashews that I didn't like that one as
okay.
good. So I've been using that a lot because I wanted
I
to
wasn't
use it up.
listening.
No, you weren't listening at all. But that I really like the one that's made with the almond milk or soy milk.
Yeah, I was crushing that.
Yeah, and it melts, and you can grate it. Like, I don't know what it is, and it's relatively cheap. I mean, like Kappa Carna Genie. I don't know what that stuff's called, but I bought that off of Amazon. It was like $6 or something. Like rather inexpensive for something that you usually spend like a ton of money for, in a grocery store. So I'm like ecstatic about how excited, how good this is. I made like a caprese salad. It was the tits. It was so good. What else did I make? Crepes. We haven't talked about crepes.
There's so much to catch up on.
Crepes are so good, and I don't know if like being or having a vegan version of crepes is like something people shy away from, but I found a recipe, and I gotta put these recipes up. I found a recipe that uses club soda to give it that like very airy texture of a crepe, because a crepe is like a very unique like density and flavor, and there's
what's a regular crepe have in it that's not vegan?
I think like a lot of eggs.
And that's what makes it fluffy?
I think so. I'm not quite sure, because eggs...
It's just like a super thin pancake to me.
It is a super thin
pancake. It becomes like a breakfast burrito.
But something about it is like effervescent. I don't know, but the club soda, which is just like carbonated water, What the hell was that noise?
I don't know.
Okay. Whatever.
We'll find out.
Anyways, the club soda just... It makes it like and amazing, and I put flaxseed as my my egg, and it works just beautifully. I just want crepes all the time. Like it was just Mother's Day, and like it was like I want crepes breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Which I've never heard of.
I like sweet crepes too, but I was just trying to think of other ways to eat crepes.
Yeah, I know.
And to be honest, I think savory crepes might top out my sweet crepes.
I agree. I'm not a big sweet breakfast eater.
Yeah. I eat crepes all the time. It was funny because we had crepes for dinner the other day, and James, my stepson, was just like, so is this like breakfast for dinner? Is this sweet? Like he was just so like, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, we're eating crepes for every meal from here on out. They're so good. So, but in my savory crepes, I put like cream cheese and mushrooms, like sauteed mushrooms, and then some sun-dried tomatoes. And we were talking about this. You put sun-dried tomatoes in like poop, and I'll eat it. They're so good.
I don't go that far, but I'm a big fan of sun-dried tomatoes. I don't see them a lot either.
Elevate everything.
You should make like sun-dried tomato mayo.
Okay.
It used to be a thing that I would enjoy.
Yeah?
I don't know where.
What would you, like a sandwich?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I've talked about this. There was a place in, I don't even remember what it's called. It was in, I do. It was in Burlington, Vermont, called the Red Onion, I believe. Okay. Could be wrong. If you're in Vermont, tell me. But they made this red onion sandwich. Maybe that was just the name of the sandwich. But no, it had Gruyere cheese on it, so you'd have to remake that. Gruyere. Had
Gruyere.
Red onion on it. It had...
I love me some red onion.
Sun-dried tomato mayo on it.
Okay.
And it had green apple slices on it.
Okay. Savory and sweet.
And then like turkey.
It's like the key to life is that savory and sweet.
Oh, it was some of the best sandwiches I've ever had. And it had like a somewhat toasted bun. What's like it was like a Monte Cristo? Is that?
Monte Cristos are like that's like French toast.
Oh, okay. No. Well, it was like...
Well, it's like dipped in egg and then fried.
Oh, no. It was more of like just like a thick toasted bread. It was so good.
I could really go for a Monte Cristo, a vegan one. I think we might try to do that this weekend.
What about your sandwich maker? Didn't you have a sandwich maker? Or no, it was a waffle maker.
I have.
Didn't you have a sandwich maker for a while?
No, I have like a press that I actually just found.
That's the kind of sandwich I want right now.
Like a panini?
Yeah, like a panini.
Oh, okay. We'll do paninis this weekend. And I was also thinking we could do our Hot Ones challenge. If anyone else out there wants to try this with us, if you've seen the YouTube or whatever show that's Hot Ones,
It's YouTube.
where they have like famous people on and they eat chicken wings and like super hot sauce.
Yeah, while they're being like interviewed about regular stuff.
So I'm gonna interview Jimmy, and we're gonna do the challenge.
That'd be amazing. So you're gonna do like a full interview.
I'm gonna do. I've already thought of some questions.
Okay, this is gonna be like a show.
Yeah.
You're gonna record it.
Well, we could record it, and then we'll edit it to have like snippets.
Okay.
But I got 5 different hot sauces. I didn't know what hot sauces they
we
use.
can go live.
But I did 5 different hot sauces, and the one that we're gonna end with it's a ghost pepper one.
Okay.
Which is like that's the hottest, right?
It should be.
I think so.
Depends.
So
Should them,
that'd
like,
be fun.
imported from like South America or something.
I definitely picked it up in my once a 3-week grocery trip at
Okay.
Kroger's.
So you got it at the Kroger. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Which,
Let's
not
speak
to
on that a little bit.
segue into Corona, COVID, but I've picked up like a new ability to go grocery shopping every 3 weeks, and it's really saving us some money. So
Yeah. When you shouldn't go out more than you need to right now.
yeah,
Or
so
should you?
I
don't know.
had that like mindset, and I was like, I gotta go, and so I went and I spent. I'll just be very honest. We have a family of like 4.5. Like James comes here half the time, and 4.5, including kids. But they eat so fucking much. Like our little kids, really, like they eat more than me. Like 100%
Just-
eat more than me.
Toast and fruit though, right?
No, they eat all kinds of food. But anyways, I usually spent like $250 around there for groceries, and I went to the grocery store and I spent like the first time I spent like $400 and something, and I was like, ooh, that's a lot of money on groceries. But then I didn't go back. That lasted us almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's really like it's changing up our lot of rice and beans kind of meals. A lot of like, you know what it is?
Get
It's a
creative.
lot of portion control. I realize that it's like I don't need to make enough to last the next day. Like we're definitely eating less.
We got in a weird habit of eating like
2 big meals.
2 big meals a day.
Yeah, one is like a late breakfast,
Yeah.
and then one's like an early dinner. And honestly, like, I mean, I don't know if it's changed my body at all, but I enjoy sitting down for dinner at like 4 and being like ragingly hungry. And I also enjoy like getting my shit done in the morning and then eating my breakfast at like 10:30 and being like, I'm so hungry.
yeah.
I'm going to eat
That's
a lot.
what I really enjoy is getting up, getting out the door, getting right to work. I'm working on one of our flip houses, and then alone, safe. But then
Oh my
coming
God. I
home,
went there today.
I'm saying like now
yeah.
now things are loosening up. But during this, I'm trying to make the point that we were following the rules.
Yeah, we were.
And but anyways, yeah, putting off that food until like noon. Whew,
Yeah,
I
then
mean,
you just really can like
I
peg out.
Yeah, but I mean, I sympathize with you here. Like it was much harder when I was teaching to fast till lunch, but when I'm doing like manual
just-
labor, it's
Yeah.
real easy.
Well, because you're like busy. No, it's a
Yeah.
I'm busy here. It's fine.
Yeah, but you're busy around like food. Like I don't even have running water where I'm working.
No, I get that, but it's fine. Me and my boys, we're just usually doing dance parties to share.
Arts and crafts.
We do.
I'm really surprised how good this whiskey tastes.
It should. It's super expensive.
Yeah, it wasn't that good last time. Well, it was, but we did a taste test with like shitty whiskey and good whiskey, and none of us knew what was what.
Well,
But I think we would know now.
mind over matter.
Well, you can interview me with hot sauce. I'll interview you with whiskey.
Is it really like even like out of the norm to get me drunk these days? You know, like it's like,
Whoa,
oh,
here we go. We're getting at least a little loose.
yeah, like that's just the norm.
Oh, no.
Okay,
We're very responsible.
I don't know.
But yeah, I
I
mean,
ruined the last 2 podcasts. Because every time you talked, I was like, no, you don't understand what I'm
Oh,
saying. You
yeah.
don't understand what I'm saying. And you were like, oh my God, can I speak? And I'm just really like that. I literally like the next day was like, Lisa needs to work on not interrupting.
That I don't know which one. Was that the first or the second one?
The second one. Oh,
That one was bad. I was pissed. It's probably
Jeez.
funny to listen to it though, because
Please,
I
no.
was yelling at you.
Yeah. And I didn't care at all.
You were just going
I'm such
on and on and on.
I was talking about the worst things too. I was explaining this, and I'm probably like gonna get in trouble for saying this now, but I was explaining this to our friend, how I kept talking about racial issues with the COVID and how like black people are apparently like, this is what the media was telling me, that black people were getting it more. And I was like trying to talk about that, and it just wasn't coming off eloquently.
It didn't come out smooth.
It did not. But it's like the whole thing was in the right.
It's a real
It
topic,
just-
yeah, but it's something you need to know what
It
you're
was
talking
just
about,
I was just like,
instead of like reading a headline.
yeah, like I was just like, black people get corona more. Ugh, that sucks. Like it wasn't. I don't know what I was coming from.
Well, Corona's obviously the big topic these days, so we're gonna stay on that a little bit, but
talk about it in a vegan-ish
yeah.
version.
So
Talk about the meat.
Holy shit!
That's a really big story.
Yes, this is a weird not a weird angle, an angle I hadn't really considered that much until the last couple days. Trying to understand, I keep seeing these headlines about meat and stuff, and meat shortages and meat plants, and
how we should feel so bad for the farmer.
yeah, it's just weird to see this stuff reported out in a way that is sympathetic when we're so used to shitting on it.
Yeah.
But then, in reality, there's a reason this is all happening.
Yeah.
And it might be good for
I'm gonna lay out
what we believe.
I'm gonna lay out my thoughts just real quick on the farmer. Is that I get really annoyed when our president talks about the farmer and our farmers are doing well and the farmers are doing this and we need to help our farmers. Listen, like the idea that people are out farming and bringing us food and agriculture and dairy and meat and all this stuff, like that's not the reality of what it is. The reality is that there are 5 giant corporations that have farms, factory farms that provide these. That the mom and pop little like farm organization, that's not the norm by any means. I'm not saying they're not out there, but when like Trump's referring to like the farmers of the United States, we need to make sure they're taken care of. Like your subsidy money that you're giving from the stimulus package is not going to Mr. Organic down the road,
Yeah, that's I'm trying to look at right now. I don't really know the stats on that, but it looks like it's fairly even, but
What do you mean even?
well, not even. This can't be. So this is from
This
USDA.
just in.
Yeah, right. Well, this is saying that. So this is of the 2.1 million farms in the United States in 2012, 97% were family-owned operations. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. But and it says 88% of farms were small family farms with less than $350K gross cash income. But I also have a stat here that says that 99% of all meat we consume comes from factory farms.
I think
So just still, even though it's family owned and it's
but they're on leased land at this point, right?
yeah, well no, I mean the guy who runs a shitty chicken factory in northern Ohio that has 15 barns, it's still a family farm that probably operates with under $500,000, probably not a huge profit range, but still that's technically a factory farm, but it's still technically a family farm, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Neither good, mostly, obviously, for many reasons that we'll get to tonight. But that's true, though. When we're talking about bailing out farming and the farmer, that's including multi-billion-dollar corporations
that provide a shitty product. And they provide it in the most shittiest way.
And shitty working conditions.
Yeah,
I
hope we go
destroy towns and.
I hope we go into it. I'm sure.
Yeah,
we
that's
will.
all in here.
But the people working in these factory farms are, I mean, they're working in a butcher house, but they're on the scale of victim. They're on the victim side to like winner, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they're being manipulated and exploited. Not as much as the animals, but They're not getting off scot-free. Like they have really terrible working conditions.
Yeah, I guess that's a question I was trying to answer that I guess was just assumed, and I couldn't really find a specific answer to it. But I think I have it. Is why is there? So first and foremost, there's a meat shortage right now. A huge meat shortage.
Meat shortage.
Like short meat. Wendy's doesn't have burgers.
Yeah.
You know, like Kroger and Giant Eagle and Costco and Walmart. There's
You're
an
limited.
amount that you can buy. Yeah, and I'm thinking we've talked about this before. Why aren't the shelves cleared in grocery stores? But I guess it's the production side of it is riddled with COVID.
Because because the workers aren't there to make the meat, right? Or to manufacture
so it's not that people
the
don't
meat.
want it or they're not buying it. It's just that the actual production has slowed.
Okay, but this is why I guess I don't understand is that wouldn't those production facilities, like an actual like a butcher house of factory farm meat, wouldn't those be essential? Like, why are those shut down? Or
they're
why
not. They were essential and they stayed open, but they
just
got
so
many people were getting it because they're just such unsanitary. And this is my opinion, but they're unsanitary, disgusting, awful places.
So this
with
just
fluids
went
and
rampant.
blood and bodies and no windows and terrible ventilation and not good heating and air conditioning, and so they're just horrible places. So. And they would stay open no matter what if they could. And even the president signed an executive order to keep them open, give them money regardless of how many people were getting sick. And even then they couldn't stay open enough. Like it's horrifying. And that's kind of the theme of all of this is that these places are just so riddled with illness that they can't produce enough meat for us to eat. But that's kind of the cause of all of this.
Right. But
the fact that we are so dependent on all this.
So that's the gist of the meat shortage is that
it's the production side,
is the production could not
so
keep
much illness
going
within production,
because there's so much illness.
But and you're like, oh yeah, we're all cracking down, we're all slowing down. But no, there's places that are rocking and rolling.
Kroger,
they're pumping out toilet paper,
is working
grocery stores,
hard.
Home Depot, like. All that stuff's getting manufactured at insane levels. And they're not riddled with COVID because everyone's going to pump out toilet paper and masks and sanitizer. It's just people can take precautions there because they're not disgusting places.
That's really bad. So I heard some guy talk on like 60 Minutes or something. I don't know what I was watching, but it was like he was like a representative for the workers of a union of people who worked in factory farms. And what do they call the production? They just call it production facility, Like you leave like a factory farm. Is the factory involved in the farm? No, I
mean, it goes from the farm to the slaughterhouse.
It's like a manufacturing.
And then like
processing plant. That's what it's called, processing plant. But anyways, he was talking about his like workers and being like, we have to be safe, and how we do things is just like it's not gonna be safe. And he was talking about the actual proximity of where people are standing, like along the line of like butchering and I don't know, butchering the body into like being actual meat. I was so like bad at this because I'm like, I don't know. They take like a pig and then they turn it into meat. Like I don't know how that happens, and I'm really against it.
It's horrifying.
But he was saying that it's just like a really insane, like it's unfathomable to like even try to reopen or try to get people in there like 6 feet apart because it's just not possible, which just really makes you think, what the fuck?
Oh.
But like, what's going on in there? Why are you all standing shoulder to shoulder, literally like cutting Zorro like swords in a belly of a cow or a pig? Like, what's going on? And what's really crazy about this is that everyone, not just vegans, normal, quote unquote, meat eating Americans are taking a second and being like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Why is this an issue?
That's a point that I wanted to make, is that is so the further we get into being, vegan, and we talk about it on our podcast, we hear all the same things over and over. We see it on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Vegans are really in depth. Like, I get sick of it and I just push it all away. And then it slowly, it does kind of flutter out of your brain. Like, what's happening?
Not mine.
And mine a
you
little
mean
bit.
like, okay.
Yeah, like what's actually going on. Like, I'm vegan and that's it. I don't have to think about it anymore. And not have to push it anymore. But I think the reason vegans are so like aggressive and in your face is because
they know.
They know, but I also need that for myself.
You need to
like,
re-up.
Yeah, when I'm reading I need to re-up. I'm reading these articles and I'm like, oh my gosh,
That's
like
so
yes,
fucked up.
I know all this and I've talked about it and I've read about it and I've, explained it to people over and over and over again, but that's fucked up. Yeah, and I have to keep telling people like this is disgusting, it's awful, and I need to read more about it. I need to be able to make arguments about it because there's no justification. And
it is. Well, here's the thing. Like, in my mind, I'm completely, I totally appreciate like all the health benefits of being vegan. I've talked about this a million times. I'm 100% like an ethical vegan, not down with killing animals. But like, this is ethical for like a human standard, because in my mind, like I think about that cow or that pig or, I'm sure they're chickens, whatever,
lamb,
killing all
babies.
Don't even say lamb. But
turkeys.
anyways, like in my mind, like that animal was killed inhumanely in this facility, 100%. But the process that goes on from the death of that animal until that animal like hits the dinner table of the standard American diet, that process and how kind of not cool that process is, that's a humane like worry. How fast it's processed, how not sanitary it's processed. Like I don't know the standards, but I just
that's where
I can't
where
imagine.
It's gotten out of hand.
How fast it needs to process, like what the parameters are, the people working in there, all those steps it takes to get, like the government subsidies. If I'm going to make this really crappy, cheap meat, super cheap for you to eat because you're poor and you can only afford this. Or the fact that there's like a ton of different cows in a hamburger. Like I've never understood that. Why can't there just be one cow? Why is it like so many together?
They do that on the factory farm. Grandpa Joe killed one cow and made some burgers for you.
Or like the sludge that makes up like chicken nuggets or hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like the leftover byproducts that some sick chemist was like, we can use that butthole of the pig to make this, and then we'll save a ton of money because we're saving all those buttholes. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's like that animal died, and that was horrible that it died. But then, like, what we, I guess, have done to that dead animal and what happens from there is just, that's a humane concern, Because then you look at all of that and you see this animal's meat and body be taken for food, and it's turned into something that's unhealthy, 100% unhealthy. See it affecting like children's development and shit. Like, yeah, that's a humane concern. That's why I don't fucking like when people are like, oh, vegans, like you'd rather save an animal than a human. I care about humans before I care about animals. Like
I used to say that.
Yeah, well, I also like humans. Like I don't want them to die. I don't want anyone to die. Just such a hippie at heart.
Well, that's the bigger picture here. Is I think that this is opening up people's eyes to that mindset that didn't have it before. So clearly, the meat and dairy industry is a giant part of our economy. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's 1.5% of the whole world's economy. We're talking billions and billions and billions of dollars, jobs, all this stuff. So it's like
they produce a staple.
Yeah, and it's something that if that was the only part of the industry, if it was, hey, we're slaughtering some cows and pigs and chickens and we're feeding people, and us vegans were like, don't do that, that's mean, that's a whole different story. Now we're talking about destruction of the world. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the healthcare system falling apart all over the world. And now we're talking about pandemics that are destroying the economy and putting us into the fucking Great Depression. Yeah. And all of it, not just because this came from an animal, but
Great Depression, but
it's actually worse. Like economically, it could be worse, but we are hitting unemployment levels of the Great Depression.
Well,
We're only a couple
but-
months into this. The
yeah.
long-term effect of this, and what happens if this is just like this is just a baby. This is a little baby virus. Because to be honest, I think we're overreacting to this, but this could be
your
great.
Opinions on the
Oh no, I got
back
plenty.
burner.
I'll save them for the second half of the show. But essentially, this is going to open people's eyes up to.
Is it?
I think it is. Not enough, but some more than it was before. It's really hard to. I mean, between this coming from animals, or maybe not, maybe out of a lab in Wuhan.
Oh, it's 100%. It's out of a lab. Yeah. I thought that was like,
but it's still
undisputed.
No, it's being investigated.
It's very disputed.
But I watched a video today on plant-based news. I want to give credit where it's deserved. This guy's name is Klaus Mitchell.
Oh, fired up. His name is Klaus?
Klaus, yeah.
Klaus.
Klaus.
Like Santa Claus.
I guess, yeah.
Like someone named their, like, that was a good one.
Klaus.
Definitely gonna. I know what I'm naming my kid.
I think it's today, it's May 12th. It's the top story on plant-based news, which is a great site. But he's talking about, he went through all the big pandemics, like the avian flu came from factory farms. MERS, I don't know that one very well.
That's Middle Eastern respiratory issue
Oh,
or respiratory disease.
There you go. Because he
Does it say?
Yeah. Well, no, he did say it came from camels. It was the mistreatment of camels.
MERS is Middle Eastern respiratory like
syndrome,
virus.
Probably.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that like I guess it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's funny or not. But like all the flack that happened with like China COVID. China Corona, Wuhan disease or whatever. Like, no one is offended that it's called Middle Eastern respiratory, whatever.
We had the Spanish flu too, but I guess that wasn't.
It's just, it was in a different time. Apparently, now everyone's more offensive.
Yeah, it's SARS, and then, well, it's funny that swine flu.
Yes, was very offensive.
It was offensive, so we called it H1N1.
It was offensive to swine production.
Yes.
Which, don't call a fucking pig a swine.
Is that offensive?
That offends me.
It's a derogatory term for a pig.
It's a derogatory term. I don't like that term at all. It sounds so gross. You swine.
Dirty swine.
Yeah. I guarantee if you fast forward in like 30 years and we use the term swine, people will be like, that's fucking, you can't fucking say that.
It's like, I have a pig at home. Have you heard you say that?
Yeah, like, my Aunt Sue's a pig. Jeez, that's so messed up.
Unrelated. I was confused by this, though. I guess it's maybe this would be part of the production. They're like, you've seen these videos where they're like dumping milk? Like farms are pumping it into their sewers, or they're having to like kill their
I saw
animals.
that with the meat, and I don't.
But that's not like you already have it.
Is no one there to process it?
I guess that's it, because people want it.
That is mind blowing to me. And you know what's even more? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard the shower going, which was also going to be mind blowing.
Oh man,
James decided to take a shower like on his own accord.
Sure, that has not happened.
But oh god, I lost my thought.
I was talking about the dumping of milk and meat and stuff, and
I saw a farmer, quote unquote.
Was he in a suit driving a Bentley?
He was 100% like very well in like a very tailored suit. But he was like, do you know, I've actually heard this a couple times, but he was like, do you know the like mental like discord that we have to go through, the you know, how upset we get when we have to kill our flock and not process it.
Yeah, I saw a few of those.
Like, stop, mister. Because, like,
it breaks my heart to have to kill these animals that I typically kill for profit, but now I have to kill them for nothing.
Right. Exactly. Like, that was so enraging to me. Like, I kind of understand your logic, but that's literally like the logic of like the mob being like, well, I had to kill him, you know? Like,
I didn't want to.
Like, okay, that's not actual reality, but thanks for living in somewhere around my orbit, you know?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, most of these have stemmed from meat, or the fact that
these pandemics.
Yeah, we do a terrible job of, our relationship with consuming animals.
Wait,
For
wait,
us,
wait.
we don't
Hold
think
on.
we should. Yeah.
Hold on. I need to go back. You were like, you think Corona's just going to be like a baby pandemic?
I'm saying.
Do you, like, are you, not that I'm like, do you know something? But, like, I'm just saying, like.
No, so
we're going to have, like.
So, like, since I was in.
Like, life's never going to be the same.
No, it's not. But, like, let's think about, unrelated, let's say earthquakes. Since I was in, like, 5th grade, the first time I, like, paid attention in science class, they've been telling us, like, California's going to fall off the earth.
Yeah.
And 30 years have gone by and it hasn't.
Yeah, I heard, like, bees were, like, not going to be around.
But let's say today an earthquake hits and takes out, like, a quarter of California, not the whole thing. You're like, oh, shit, they were right.
Yeah.
Maybe the next one's going to be even worse. Sorry, California. I hope that doesn't happen. I really don't. But that's what they think might. And this is what they've been saying. Like, I've been hearing for 20 years that some pandemic is our biggest enemy. This is why people have, like, bug out shelters and they're digging holes in their yards and they're like stocking up guns. And then all of a sudden we have one that isn't really that bad.
Little blip.
It's not really that bad. And we're going to destroy the whole world's economy over it. And
so we're gonna have another one, and we're not gonna destroy the economy.
No,
and
we might have one that might actually be
like
real bad,
physically
like kills 10% of people,
not kill our
0.01%. Yeah, but also kill our economy at the same time. So this might be good in the sense that we're prepping for it. Yeah. So I think we are overreacting, but I don't think it's a bad thing because I don't think these are going away.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop what we're doing that's causing these.
We're just gonna have pandemics from now.
We're just gonna have pandemic. Well, we have, and it's just been a long period of time without one. So we've gotten very comfortable with the fact that we won't get them, or
That's really scary.
It's really scary, and I think that.
Are you comfortable in this basement?
Yeah.
Because we're going to be living in the basement.
Well, not if people get their shit together and we make some giant changes. If we let these industries fail, if we let maybe meat just cost what it should cost.
Oh, well, God, preach it because, yes.
It doesn't even have to fail.
What a bizarre concept. Meat should cost what it actually costs to produce it. Mind-blowing.
We don't need to be
government,
vegan.
I understand. Like, totally make, like, gas and oil, like 100%. You can subsidize that because, like, I think the actual cost of gas would be like way higher than I'm expecting.
Cheaper than orange juice right now.
Well, but like in general, like I'm not willing to spend like $7 a gallon. But meat, come on.
Last year we spent $38 billion on meat and dairy.
Oh, I thought you meant like us in general. I thought you were going to talk about. I thought you were going to talk about like our gas usage, and I was like, "Damn, where did we go?" I know we travel a lot,
but there's so many things connected to that too. They say like people are always like vegetables are so expensive. My students say that.
They're not.
They are compared to meat and dairy that's subsidized.
Oh, you mean like the final product at the store?
Yeah, when you go to the store, or to like a restaurant or something. That's because it's not subsidized. And if we're going to continue to do that, these are the things that are going to happen. Maybe we're not going to have full blown pandemics, but we could have a friendly relationship with animals as food. I don't want one.
Damn, hold on, say that again. We can have a friendly relationship.
Not friendly.
No, I think that's a profound statement. We can have a friendly relationship with animals as food. Unlike
you and I can't. I don't want. I have other reasons why I'm not going to eat meat. But yeah, like there's a way we could still be carnivores and not cause pandemics.
Like our neighbors have chickens.
Yes.
They eat their eggs.
Yes.
They take care of they got out today. It was like everyone
running down an alley
everyone in the neighborhood was like,
or the hood, whatever we call it,
was like trying to get these chickens back in their hen house. Our other neighbors have rabbits. I would not eat a rabbit.
Do not think they're consuming them, but
no, but I'm saying like, in those scenarios, like if they want to eat their chickens, if they want to eat their rabbits,
yes,
that's no harm off of anyone's back. Besides the rabbits and the chickens that are getting eaten.
And the healthcare industry. But we don't need to get into that yet.
Well,
But,
if it's okay.
I mean, I choose not to eat meat, not just, I mean, yeah, it's a strain on the healthcare. But also, if you have that, again.
You're so vegan. It's just, can we take a second? Because it's like, you weren't,
No.
And then you were like, I'm going to try this. And now you're like literally more vegan than me.
It's weird that people, I don't know. Sometimes I'm accused of being inconsistent, whether it's my politics or my food or my music or whatever.
You're not inconsistent.
I'm not inconsistent. I think
you're wicked vocal with your thoughts.
I'm open-minded, and I feel like I go where there's the logic. And I know a lot of people like that who are pretty logical, but then they can shut their brain down to certain things, like vegan is weird and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Or, I don't like rap music, or, like just things that like don't fit into your norm. You can just shut them out. But if you're open-minded to everything, then I don't know. But anyways, veganism, when it comes to...
I like rap music. Do people not like rap music?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like rap music.
That was like a pretty generally liked genre of music.
Not like people in their 40s and 50s. But I'm not in those, by the way. I'm 39, just to say.
People in their 40s and 50s.
I think older people don't typically. But this is because they just like, oh, that's bad. I don't know. But the point I'm making
okay.
before you so
go on
blatantly called me a vegan is that I don't remember.
Be open.
Oh, there's problems with eating meat, but there's a way it could happen without
friendly relationship,
without destroying the environment as quickly, without destroying the economy, without destroying healthcare, and without causing pandemics. It could strain these things.
Number one rule, if that's the scenario, is less consumption of meat. That's what I don't understand about meat eaters. I'm going to talk to you guys like gay people talked about.
Any of you are listening?
No, gay people talk about like breeders, like about heterosexual. I'm talking about meat eaters like that. I just don't like. Do you have to eat so much? That's what I don't understand. Is that if everyone just cut it down, like meatless Mondays.
Yeah.
How about we just did like meat? I don't know, like 2-3 days a week.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna take a while though. Let's say the average consumer does restrict their meat intake to 5 instead of 7 days a week, or 1 instead of 3 meals a day. Eventually that has to be seen by the production and blah, 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 and slow it all down. But I think the way to really speed it up and make it happen tomorrow.
Pandemics,
yeah. No, opening the eyes to that is the subsidy thing. Yeah. Make it cost what it's going to cost. Make it a real demand. It will slow the demand for shitty, mass-produced, crappy meat. Yeah. And it will increase the demand for
good, not healthy, but good quality meat. Do you know?
Not even quality. I mean, just meats that's not 40 cows lined up just getting all.
Do you know how much like a Big Mac or something like that would cost if it wasn't subsidized?
Is there a stat? Yeah. Have you ever bought a Beyond Beef burger? It's about $6 at Burger King. So probably about $6 instead of $2. And it, like the mass production of the meat is something that is, so we have people who come across constantly. If you're a vegan, you constantly have people that, I only get my meat from like a local organic farmer. And I just read a statistic today that I think it was 0.9%. So 99.1% of all meat comes from shitty, terrible factory farms. And then there's less than 1%. So the odds that we all know somebody who they only eat the meat from their factory farm, from their grandpa's pasture or something. It's horseshit, and people use that all the time, and it's an out because I'm like,
they do.
I don't know what to say to you now because
I just
you only eat good, but it's like no, you don't. You go to restaurants and you get a chicken sandwich.
Right. Well, I've been a vegan or vegetarian obviously for like a really long time, and people used to talk about say that to me, but they used to say, well, I only eat like white. I only eat chicken. I only eat like the white meat. Like that would make a difference to me. Like I only eat white meat. And like even then, like
for healthy meat.
Yeah, but like it went from like I only eat the white meat of the chicken to like, oh, now I only eat the organic blah blah. Carpaccio, grass-fed, blah, blah, blah. It's just like those type of people. What I've come to realize about people, and if this is vegan or not related, is that everything is projection. Everything that anybody says that's a little questionable is someone inside their mind being like, oh, fuck, I don't do this right. I'm going to say that I'm going to put myself on a pedestal and tell you what's up. Even though whoever said to you that I only get my meat from a family farm down the street, in their mind, they're like, I fucking stopped at Burger King on the way here. You know? But like they have to, it's all projection. They have to put themselves on that pedestal and say, you know, that's not how I live. And it's the same people that are yelling at people about being vegan. Well, do you know how much water soybeans use? Like, shut up. Like, all that talk is just projection. It's someone feeling guilty. It's feeling a certain way inside their gut, like not even in their heart. It's someone feeling that like deep down inside of themselves, and they feel guilty and they don't know what else to do but lie and say you're doing something wrong with your life. That's it. That's like it's everyone.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a tough one because I don't know. I think a lot of bad and good is coming out of this pandemic. And in terms of veganism, I think a lot of good. Mm-hmm. In terms of
Just Egg is like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I don't know if
now
we talked about that in our drunk podcast.
We did.
So we didn't actually talk about that.
We didn't actually put that out there. But yeah, Just Egg's doing very well. All the meats now since, even mid-April, when all these shortages started happening.
Yeah.
There's always that, if you're a vegan, you've gotten the meme texted you of like the grocery store and like, oh, the vegan food's still here. Everybody took the good shit. And it's like, oh,
that's
what do you want now?
Tofu. I can't find tofu for the life of me. It's really annoying. I have to order it off of Amazon Prime.
It's a weird one. I don't understand
what
people
are
are
all these people
after.
Eating tofu? You know, and also,
why weren't you before?
You know you're not eating all this tofu. I actually eat tofu.
Are people just randomly grabbing tofu, or is it just like the vegans are stocking up?
I don't know. Maybe they're selling it on like the black market. I don't know, but it's really aggravating.
I think
because I actually eat tofu.
I think people who are buying the tofu are eating the tofu. I think what happened was, like you said earlier in the show, Joe Schmo gets a week worth of groceries typically, and now Joe Schmo's getting 3 to 4 weeks worth of groceries.
Makes sense.
So like the production just got slapped in the face with a 300% increase on what they're generally sending to the stores. They're just trying to keep up.
Gosh, economists are just gonna look back at this and like have a heyday. It's the craziest.
I don't think we've seen the worst of it, which I'm very scared of.
In the economy?
Yeah, especially for what we're trying to do. We're trying to.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like that. I'm just talking about like actual like supply demand. Like if you just look at the microcosm of like the grocery store, like you just said, people are buying 3-4 weeks worth of food instead of 1 week's worth of food. Like every one of those suppliers, tofu, Mr. Tofu brand or whatever, like their production just has to go skyrocket. Like this is all crazy. Supply and demand, like as like an economist, you look at this, like this is just some crazy shit.
Yeah. I think about this today. At Menards, the hardware store, they have toilet paper.
Oh, you're not talking about your balls?
No, not Menards. Mm-hmm. They have toilet paper. And there was a lot of jokes about toilet paper, a lot of memes about toilet paper. All this fed into this like we all need toilet paper, and then we're sitting around like we don't need toilet paper, but we should probably get some toilet paper. And then everybody's doing that, so the toilet paper's like bow, 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 bow. And then all of a sudden we don't need fucking toilet paper until like 2023. Right. So what's gonna happen when
Right.
no one's buying it, and they're gonna be like,
Charmin's out of business.
yeah, they're not gonna be out of business, but they're not gonna have much to produce, and then
No. You know who's not going to go out of business? Scott's.
Scott's.
Toilet
The
paper.
toilet paper. Scott's is the tits.
Scott's is actually sandpaper.
I'm surprised they are
But-
still in business because I still have the first roll I bought in 1997.
It's like one roll lasts us literally 3 weeks.
You walk down the aisle of the grocery store and squeeze every roll of toilet paper, and then you get the Scott's and you squeeze it. It's like squeezing, like,
Not comfortable.
it's so dense.
Yeah, it's very dense.
But it's worth it.
yeah, I think it's a quality investment. That's
when
one ply.
Yeah, the fluffy,
No, I think
soft toilet paper,
it's
it's
like
a scam.
Yeah.
They're like,
for
we're just going
sure.
to pump it full of air, and then you pull, you take one number 2.
Well, I mean, like
it's
girth
gone.
wise, I think Scott's does the job just fine as compared to the fluffy stuff.
What do you mean girth-wise?
like thickness of the actual
paper?
toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, once you pull it off, but I'm saying, like, here, I have some in my hand.
You do.
I was blowing my nose on this earlier. Allergies, not COVID. It's just soft and fluffy,
Yeah.
but Scott's is just whoosh, just thin.
Yeah.
So, and they wrap it so tight, and it's just like this bigger.
It's like a piece of paper.
Yeah, and I used to.
It's like copy paper.
We gave
like
my parents
Staples copy
so
paper.
much shit. We'd like coming home for Thanksgiving, be like, "Oh, I gotta use mom and dad's crappy toilet paper. Should have brought my own toilet paper." And then I got a little older, and I was like, "Oh, I see why they did that.
Because it lasts
It
forever.
lasts forever.
Lasts through a pandemic.
It's worth it."
I can tell you that I bought. That's actually, we should get back on course or end this. But I bought like a giant thing of like just one. I didn't buy more because I was like not trying to be like a hoarder. Just one giant thing of toilet paper, and we haven't. And that was in the beginning, like
It was
right when it started.
Like
So that was
March 15th.
right March 15th.
2 months ago.
Literally, I went to the grocery store, and we have not run out of it.
No.
We still have like lots. I don't know who's just. I guess it's just
There's 6
one
in my
girl
car
here.
that you try to give someone one day, and they're still
Okay.
there. So those 6 haven't been accounted for.
There's a ton down here.
Are they Scots?
No,
They're not even Scots.
I don't know. We just don't use that much toilet paper.
Vegans.
Well, I
Think
mean,
we
like
would.
everyone's
Clean breaks,
a
I guess.
boy, or except me, and I just
Yeah, we only use it once a
I
day.
feel like I use
If
a
we're
lot
lucky.
of toilet paper. Anyways, but my point is that I bought that, and then you went to Menards and you bought some toilet paper, and you're like, I just bought some toilet paper.
Saw it. I was like, I had to buy it.
And I was like, we don't need it. We're
It's like,
fine.
wait till COVID 20.
And you actually bought paper towels.
Yeah.
And I was kind of really down with outliving with paper towels.
I said, do you want any paper towels or toilet paper? And you texted back paper towels with an exclamation point.
Yeah. It's a comfort.
No,
paper
it
towels
is.
are
It
a
is.
comfort, but if you don't have them, you can 100% live without them.
I agree with that. But and I have been very, 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 very different about my paper towel use now.
I don't like them. I don't like using them. I mean, not as much. I don't know if like using the water to clean my towels is like the same, like it's probably
Yeah.
just as
Oh,
wasteful.
well, like wasteful? No, it's probably not as wasteful.
Okay.
It's a lot of paper. But anyways,
Let's get back on topic. Do we have any more topics? Are we done?
yeah, no, we're like closing it out. But if you talk about all the impact of a pandemic, well, not just a pandemic, of meat production, we've talked about it a billion times on this show. It's an exaggeration. Healthcare, environment, which we haven't talked about a lot tonight. Subsidies, money, economics, and then we don't really talk about pandemics, but that's another thing to throw in there. So I'm vegan.
Meat caused pandemics.
Yeah, I kind of like animals now
I
because I'm
kinda
a
like-
vegan. But the healthcare system's fucked, like beyond belief. Subsidies are insane. There's just so many side effects. And for a minute there, I was thinking like,
Just so you
but-
guys can eat meat.
but I was thinking
Tisk,
like, we still
tisk.
need meat. I'm easily convinced now, but I do sometimes think like, well, we can't all be vegan. And then I look at this stuff and I'm like, no, we could. We
all
really,
should be
really could.
vegan.
It would cost us less. We would feed way more people with way less impact on the environment and our economy. It makes sense. It makes so much sense. And we would not have pandemics anymore. We probably wouldn't even have them at all.
Yeah.
We'd have illness.
No.
There'd be sickness.
No,
that's
very true because even if COVID-19 was made in a lab, the what's it called? What's that term? Like zoological term to describe when a disease or a virus jumps from an animal to another animal.
Yeah, I don't know. But
it's called like zoo something or other.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wouldn't happen because it wouldn't affect us unless we're fucking these animals, we're not eating them.
And even
Which
if you were,
people do.
I've heard that. Yeah.
I heard it in China.
Yeah, when you were
I
there.
saw a video of a man having sex with a chicken.
Wow.
I think I told you that.
What?
It scarred me.
Where are you on the internet?
I don't know. Hood clips, I think. I think we've talked about hood clips.
Oh yeah, I got rid of that.
He was sitting on it and bouncing up and down.
Okay. Wow.
And I was like, I looked at the video and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Made it this far into the show.
Right. But I was like, I don't know what that is. And then I looked at the not the commentary, but the description or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, caught man in China fucking a chicken. I was like, what? Why am I watching this? 2, you tricked me into watching this. I didn't even know. And now I saw that video.
It's probably
I saw that video, I'm not even kidding you, maybe 5 months ago. And I've literally thought of it once a week.
It's probably.
And every time I think about it, I'll be washing dishes and I'll just be like, that was so fucked up. I stop everything and I'm like, why did I watch that?
5 months ago. That sounds like ground zero.
That's probably what happened.
That could have been it. That could be the host monkey / chicken. But so I go back and forth on what we're doing to react to this. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm part of me is we're overreacting. We've loosened up a little ourselves. We've hung out with family and friends a little bit.
Oh, I didn't want you to fall off your soapbox. Hold on.
I'm not.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. This is pushing my elbow. Is that really what you were doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry. Go on.
Okay. Anyways, it's caused a lot of destruction.
Yeah.
There's over 30 million people in America without jobs, which is unheard of. Unheard of. Coming off the best economy we've ever had.
Besides the job things, the negative, another negative thing, I'm on your side, Jimmy, is the social aspect of this. I don't think it's good for people not to hang out with other people.
Well,
I think it's really bad.
Aside from that,
and to only hang out on Facebook.
Yes. Well, that mini little inconvenience that you're experiencing. There's also a spike in suicide, alcoholism, drug overdoses, abuse, child abuse and spousal abuse.
Yeah.
It's these are the things that a lot of us aren't seeing. I mean, you and I have gotten a little tense a few times. People just cooped up in their houses. Yeah. It does get insane.
I always say that if you've only threatened divorce under 3 times during the pandemic, you guys are pretty much soulmates.
You're doing well.
You're doing really well as a couple.
We're on 3, so we gotta let it out.
1 more to go. No, but to get serious, the abuse thing, the domestic abuse.
That's scary.
It's so scary and it's so sad because we think about those students that you teach, that I taught years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of those kids came to school for a relief to get away from a terrible, terrible environment, and now they just have to stay. It literally,
and there's a place that they had to go. They could leave that home knowing at least Monday through Friday from 8 to 2. You can't even make me stay here. Yeah. The law says I have to go to this place with nice people in it.
Right. I mean, we had students that had their parents be like, I don't want you to go to school. I don't want you to leave.
Yeah.
I want you to be as miserable as me and stay here.
The toll that some of us aren't feeling is insane. Yeah. And it might take a while for us to really quite fully understand that. The other big one was diagnosing illness and stuff, apparently like the amount of people diagnosed with cancer is down a lot because people aren't going to the hospital. It's not like we have less cancer or heart disease. Like people are scared to go to the hospital. People are scared to go to their regular, family practitioner or whatever. And there's not less people that are sick. It's just less people are going out there. So there's some insane consequences of this. So again, I say like, this is an overreaction. We should be doing this. But at the same time, I think there's going to be another pandemic. And it could be worse.
Right.
And
maybe we're not going to take it as seriously.
Yeah, we might not. But maybe we are. Maybe we're going to be ready for it. Maybe we're going to have social distancing laid out. We're going to have learning laid out. We're going to have our restaurants ready. But again, none of this has to happen. It really doesn't have to happen. And again, everyone's vegan. And they're all going to be vegan eventually. We joke about that, but I think at some point the switch is going to go off. I think before we die.
You think so?
I think so. That almost everyone's going to be vegan. And we're going to be like, wow, we were fucking crazy. Like, what were we doing?
I can't believe we used to eat meat and call people swine.
Yeah, swine? I mean, you said the S word?
Yeah.
Remember when people used to say the S word like it was just normal?
Well, I hope that is the case, but I am not going to hold my breath. But times are tough, and
it really is. And it's tougher for some more than others.
It's like, yeah, like we can make light of it and stuff. And to be honest, like I think about this all the time. We're in the best scenario this could possibly be in. You're a fucking teacher.
Yeah, you and me are fine, yeah.
You work remotely from your phone or from your computer. I stayed home with our kids. Our financial situation has not been touched.
And we got $1,200. We got several checks from the government.
Yeah.
Our financial situation increased.
Yeah, it's fine. We're still able to work on this house. Like, and we like each other. You're not beating me up every day. You're not getting drunk every day and beating me up. Like,
well, drunk, but not beating you up.
You're not beating me up. But, I don't know. Like, you really have to be empathetic to some of these situations. Some of these other people. And you know what, like, really fucking pisses me off?
Ones you're not hearing about. Ones you're not.
Well, yeah. And this is kind of, like, off topic, I guess. But, like, you know how, like, I get, like, most people do. You get, like, a little envious, a little jealous. You see people on Instagram or Facebook or whatever the fuck, and you're like, oh, my God, they're quarantining on their beach house, or they're doing this, or they're doing that, or all this fun stuff, and you're like, oh, I wish I could do. And then it's like on the other end of the spectrum, it's like the people like 2-3 miles away from our house are literally like living in their house with their mom who's addicted to heroin, who brings in random guys to have sex with because she has to pay for her habit. And you're a 12, 13, 14-year-old girl watching this happen, and that's your life. And then I look back and I think about like, oh, I was jealous about someone quarantining on the beach, and I'm jealous of their life. When I got this 14-year-old girl, like I feel sick that I even like had those thoughts, because like I'm so blessed in our situation. Like it's disgusting.
And we're very close to actually the
hood. We see it.
Yeah, like on the news last night, Tucker Carlson on national news.
Yeah.
Mentioned our county. Our county increased deaths by 50% this year. And
overdoses.
And last year, we were averaging almost one a day.
Yeah, we have a ton.
Last year.
We have a ton.
So if we increase that,
by
like
50%,
the drug use is insane. And that's not just affecting those individual drug users. It's their families.
Their whole
It's
family.
So it's like,
so if you're out there, first of all, if you're still eating meat, Jesus Christ, stop.
Wrap it up.
I'm just kidding.
Take every other day off, like we're trying to do with beer or something.
Yeah. Make an assertive effort to maybe move in the right direction. I'm not telling you be all end all, but an assertive effort. But also just like be super thankful for what you have, because literally 2 miles away from my house, there are little kids, 14, 15, 2-year-olds, 1-year-olds, 9-month-olds sitting in houses with dysfunctional, horribly abusive, drug-ridden families, and that's where those fucking kids are, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're like listening to this
You're listening to
this on ear, headphones via your iPhone or whatever smartphone you're using, like take a second to be super appreciative of where you are during this quarantine, because not seeing your mom or not seeing your dad through this is tough, but it's not as fucking tough as this little kid has to sit forever with a horrible family.
Can I have my soapbox back?
No, it's so sad. I'm sorry, I took it.
Okay.
That was
good.
pretty Debbie Downer. But isn't that the truth? Isn't it so?
No, it's not Debbie Downer. I think it's a positive thought to be able to reflect on the fact that, things are good for a lot of us, and they could be way worse. And there are a lot of people very scared and uncomfortable right now. Beyond just like the horrifying stuff you just talked about, just mildly uncomfortable. But just know that a lot of people are struggling right now, and they're fearful, and we just got to do what we can to push forward, and we got to look at this and change our lives. We all have to change our lives. You said this earlier. Nothing's gonna ever be the same, but a lot of that's really good.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna save more.
More aware.
They're gonna appreciate their family more. They're gonna be more careful about the fact that something like this could happen again. There's a lot of good stuff that's gonna come from this. But
a lot of reflection going on.
Yeah. And people need to. They need to, because some people aren't gonna do that, and they're just gonna be like,
right.
Government. See, Nancy Pelosi today pitched another $3 trillion stimulus to just give everybody another check. Like, that's not gonna save the day. I mean, I wouldn't mind one, but but yeah, they're just that's how our government's trying to solve this, is to just make believe money that doesn't exist.
What else are they supposed to do? Put out some positive scripture readings or something. That's all they're good.
Subsidizing meat.
That's all that they're good for is money. Come on.
They're gonna destroy the whole fucking country if they keep making up money that doesn't exist.
It's destroyed. It's fine.
Yeah.
Burn it, Jimmy.
But that's fine too. But that's why we all have to be individually accountable for our futures. We have to be very careful. We have to save money. We have to make good choices. We have to take care of our bodies. We have to make sure we're healthy.
Little self accountability, right?
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, but thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I have no expectations of you whatsoever. If you would like to do something for us, like lead a writing or subscribe or something like that, go for it. But honestly, you do you.